Now let's look at other important lymph nodes of the body. All right. So celiac, superior mesenteric, and inferior mesenteric lymph nodes are involved in disease of the bowel. All right. So if there is a malignancy of colon, let's say if there's colon cancer, then you need to understand that these lymph nodes will be involved. Now, depending on which part of colon, the lymph nodes involved will be different. All right. And these lymph nodes have to be removed if there is a surgical procedure. All right. So you need to understand that. Now, the most important thing from exam point of view is gastric cancer. All right. In gastric cancer, the periumbilical lymph node. All right. So the periumbilical lymph node. So it's present here. All right. So periumbilical, that means around the umbilicus. All right. So if the lymph nodes around the umbilicus are involved, and if you can feel that during examination, then you have to be suspicious about gastric cancer. All right. Super high yield, Sister Mary Joseph lymph node, periumbilical lymph node, super high yield. So let's assume there is a mass in testis or ovaries. The lymph node involved will be para-aortic. Although location of testis is here, you might be wondering why there is para-aortic lymph node involvement, right? So for this, you need to understand that testis, it develops here, all right, as an intra-abdominal organ. Then it descends down here to the scrotum. That's why even if there is involvement of testis, which is located here, the lymph node involved will be para-aortic, super high yield from exam point of view. If there is any malignancy in the testis, they will spread to the para-aortic, all right? They'll spread around here, around the para-aortic lymph node. Now, another really important lymph node is the external iliac, all right, and the internal iliac. So external iliac and internal iliac, they are present around the iliac artery, so somewhere around here, all right? Now, if there is a malignancy of cervix or let's say vagina, right, they will spread to the internal iliac, all right? So that's why you need to understand the importance of these lymph nodes. They help us to identify metastasis, the staging of the malignancy, all right? So super high yield. Now, another really important point from exam point of view is the involvement of anal canal below the pectinate line and involvement of anal canal above the pectinate line, all right? Now, if there is any disease condition below the pectinate line, it will drain to the superficial inguinal lymph node. But if there is involvement above the pectinate line, it will involve the internal iliac. All right, super high yield from exam point of view. Now, another highly tested question is the involvement of the foot. All right, if the medial foot is involved, it will drain to the superficial inguinal lymph node. So if there is any infection of the medial foot, you need to understand that it will drain to the superficial inguinal. Now, if there is involvement of the lateral foot, all right, then the popliteal lymph node will be involved. All right. So the posterior calf and the lateral foot, they drain to the popliteal. But the medial foot, it drains to the superficial inguinal. This is super high yield from exam point of view. All right. Now, this is a small mnemonic. The popliteal, the letial sounds like little toe. All right. And little toe is present in the lateral foot. All right. So always remember lateral foot involvement, there'll be drainage to the popliteal. But if medial foot is involved, it will drain to the superficial inguinal. All right, super high yield from exam point of view. Now, another important point that I want to repeat again is the anal canal. If the if there is any disease condition below the pectinate line, the superficial inguinal lymph node will be involved. But if there is involvement above the pectinate line, the internal iliac lymph nodes will be involved. All right, above the pectinate line, internal iliac.